The NBA on a Friday night, an 8-game slate on this Friday evening around the association where, Donnie, in the stretch run, about 20 games or fewer left around the NBA, every game impactful from that postseason race, trying to earn a play-in tournament spot or better your positioning within those playoff standings in either conference. That is certainly the story tonight at altitude. The Nuggets, a 7.5-point home favorite against Donnie's Western Conference team, the Phoenix Suns. The over-under stands now at 238. DRS, Phoenix needs to steal a few down the stretch if they are even going to flirt with a play-in tournament spot. But with Dallas stumbling, of course, because of the injury stacking up for the Mavs, Phoenix is only 2.5 games behind those Mavericks for the 10th spot in the Western Conference, the fourth and final in the play-in tournament. Can Phoenix make this interesting tonight at altitude?
Such a tough game to handicap. And again, as we pointed out, so many of these are going to be down the stretch because you're trying to buy into not the X's and O's, like who's the better basketball. Of course, it's the Nuggets. Just look at the actual home court advantage that they have tonight in elevation and also the records for the team. But understand this. Did something switch over for the Phoenix Suns? I'm not even saying they're a good basketball team or Bradley Beal should be relegated to the bench and not play and just let KD spin because he's only there for a couple more games technically before he's going to get traded this summer. But from a standpoint of it was going to be, we don't have any chance to even get into the play-in round. To now, Dallas is in a complete spiral and free fall, and nobody wants to actually play behind the Suns, which means there are some bottom dwellers like, hey, that ain't our spot. You go ahead and take it. So do they rise to the occasion and say, we're going to play better basketball down the stretch? So at least we can say, hey, man, we fought hard the rest of the way. We got into the play-in tournament. Who knows how it's going to work out in the end and probably won't work out better. But doesn't this feel like it is going to be one of those measuring stick games for the Suns? Like, to me, I want to believe that the Phoenix Suns are going to give their best effort tonight, which means a legitimate chance to win. But if not, losing by less than 10 points, which puts you around the point spread. But it's also one of those games for me, Ben, that I say to myself, if I take the Suns, and this is 131-99 because it was fool's gold for the Suns for a one-night comeback party against an injured, let's just say, Clippers team at that point, I don't know what to anticipate. So for me, I'm still going to keep it with the Nuggets. They're home. They're better. They should win. So if they should win, I don't know if I think they only win by 3 or 4 points at this point. I'll take the Nuggets, but it's such an interesting handicap from what am I actually getting from the Phoenix Suns?
The altitude advantage for Denver this year as a home favorite, 14-10-1 against the spread, a good covering team. Phoenix, not a good covering team, but as an underdog, at least the margin not nearly as wide, 9-14 against the number this year, I guess. Right, Phoenix had dropped 4 of their first 5 since the All-Star break. They have now won 2 of their last 3, sandwiched in between the dramatic second-half comeback against the Clippers earlier this week, was a game as a pick'em favorite at home against the T-Wolves that we said you have to have, and they lost, right? So what exactly are we feeling about the Suns? Down by as many as 23 late in the third quarter against L.A. earlier this week at home, and they rallied all the way back to win. Fantastic. But you were still down by 20-plus at home against a short-handed Clippers team. I don't know, Donnie. I'm not buying in like you. I think you are jokingly buying in to the idea that if they get there, maybe it's worth a sprinkle. I think you let them get a little bit closer before you bet on them getting there at this time. Denver now a half game behind the streaking Lakers, who, of course, have won 8 straight for that 2-3 split. The Lakers, the 2 seed out west. Denver now in that 3rd spot. Probably no Jalen Brunson tonight as the Knicks continue their road trip. Second leg of a back-to-back in L.A. Rolled his ankle in OT. Maybe not as serious as it looked in the moment, but probably going to miss a few games here for the Knicks. Because of it, you see a large spread. The Clippers an 8-point home favorite tonight against New York. Total at 219 now.
I'll take the 8 points. I'll take the 8 points with the Knicks because also understand this. Yes, it's a back-to-back. Yes, Brunson is not going to play in this game, but it's the same city back-to-back. It's not that bad. You played basketball for a couple hours, which most people tell you sometimes the game's much easier than the practices are. You're going to lace them up once again, same hotel you stayed the night before, not flying on a plane, checking into a new hotel, new bedroom, getting ready for everything like that. You get that? So I'm going to take the Knicks tonight, getting the 8 points against the Clippers, who I don't know if we're all there. Should they win the game? Yeah, probably so, but I'll take the Knicks tonight with the 8. Not not saying a bounce back effort because they lost last night, but I don't think it's going to be a blow up by the Clippers enough to get me to double digits buying in per se. Give me the Knicks. I'll take them on a back-to-back with that 8 points.
The Clippers have not been great since the All-Star break. Neither had the Knicks, at least in terms of covering numbers. The Knicks have only covered once in their 8 games since the break. New York is also the worst underdog team in the NBA, 3-7 against the spread. But 9 of those 10 games, it would seem at this moment, or I should say 6 of those 7 non-covers against those top 2 seeds in either conference. No points prop as expected listed for Jalen Brunson. We do have numbers out there, though, for James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, not Donnie's guy, Big Will, Norman Powell. Can I ask, just so we clarify, so our bit here that you have started on the money line and carries over to your guy on TEL, why Big Will for a guy named Norman?
Like growing up, you're the best player on the court. You know what I mean? Bring your Big Willie game out there, Big Willie Styles. You know what I mean? You ever hear that moniker back in the day, Will Smith and all that? So that's where it dates back to for me. Yeah. So like you are the big dog on the court. It's just a moniker and a nickname. That's all.
Gotcha. That doesn't actually have anything to do with the name William. It's a different. All right.
What's that?
Anyway, as we get ready for the rest of the NBA slate tonight, Donnie, as we have shared, the Mavericks are probably going to be booked as an underdog for the good majority of their games down the home stretch of this season, even at home, getting double digits from the Grizzlies, who I believe have dropped 4 in a row. Memphis needs to figure it out, snap the skid, expected to do so tonight in Dallas.
I mean, they should win, but again, there are much better efforts out here that you can bet on and apply your time and try to handicap than what am I getting out of the Dallas Mavericks at home at this point, quite frankly? Or are there any fans at home to even watch the Dallas Mavericks tonight taking on the Memphis Grizzlies? The Grizzlies haven't been great by any stretch. Maybe look at the over 238 since how much of that breakneck pace we get from the Grizzlies, but good luck with understanding what the Dallas Mavericks will be made of tonight. I can't get my hands around it.
The Memphis Grizzlies have only won 2 of their 8 games since the All-Star break. They have not covered once in that span. The Mavs, after the Luka Doncic deal, were booked as a dog. This will be their 11th time in the 14 games since, or the 12th time in the 15 games since, booked as a dog. They started out covering, not so much as of late. More on the early line up next.